Once we reached our flat in Sultan Ahmad in the middle of town, sandwiched by lots of boutique hotels on the left, on the right, front and back, with narrow roads, steep roads up on a slope, the noise and honking begins. We began to miss the countryside. The scenery and the heat was killing us too. It seems like the local authorities in Turkey take good care of their roads and cities to the extent the development here does not disturb or disrupt the natural contour of the earth's surface here. They didn't flatten the hill or the slopes. Such high importance and respect for environment. But the people here, unfortunately, not all but some do not appreciate the environment here. They throw tissues, plastic wrappers, and some vandalism can be seen at bus stations in Istanbul. Constantinople was the capital city of Roman Byzantium Empire established by the Constantine. Christianity was the religion of this empire back then, similar to Islam now in Muslim populated countries. Just a religion, a private matter, but in public lives, Christians back then and Muslims now follow human law or human rules. Clearly, this is departed from the way of life Islam states in the Quran. The administrative center of Constantinople, in this great palace here, where this tall building stands, is called Hippodrome. There was a palace here where Constantine and his officials lived and ruled, but now only remains left after the mosque Sultan Ahmad is built on this ground. The drawing here shows a hierarchy in the culture or way of life of the Byzantium. The top level, can you see? The middle level and the lowest level. Similar to today's society, there's the rich or the top 20, the middle class, and the bottom or the working class. Sounds familiar? Look familiar? History repeats. Who says history is for the past, not relevant today? Haha. Those who believe this is not using their akal, I'm afraid. Now, only Islam don't have social hierarchy. But once people departed from Quran and make Islam a religion, social class exists due to oppression. At the bottom of this place is where horse races and some kind of competition happened according to the tour guide here. From this hippodrome, on my left is Hagia Sophia, on my right is the Sultan Ahmad Mosque. Part of the Sultan Ahmad Mosque was built on the ruins of Great Palace, i.e. the Palace of Constantine. I wonder why, of all places, why on the ruins of this great palace? This is Sultan Ahmad Mosque. Isn't this huge? And doesn't it make one speechless? It is also called a Blue Mosque, built by Ahmad I, which used a lot of funds, causing unnecessary stress on the Ottoman Empire at that time, I think about 16 something, of which the ulama at that time didn't agree and they protested. Good of them. It is unsure if the mosque had any other function, i.e. governance, besides worship. As for education, there is madrasah built just outside the entrance of this mosque and outside the mosque. Now, let's walk to Hagia Sophia on the opposite of Sultan Ahmad Mosque. Just a few steps away, this church holds thousands of years' memory. From church to museum, now to mosque. Oh my God. If Hagia Sophia could speak, wonder what it would say. Can you see some parts up there being covered? It's the picture of Mary or Jesus. According to Dr. Yunus from Ottoman Study Center, Marmara University, Sultan Mehmed II or Al-Fateh changed this church to mosque as a political move to show his existence. I'm here. Although this is not the practice of the Prophet or the rightly guided caliphs after him. You see, when Caliph Umar al-Khattab won the battle with the Crusaders and entered Jerusalem, he didn't convert the church to a mosque. In fact, he didn't disturb the church. Neither did he make his mark there or show I am here or build anything to show his political existence. He came because the people of Jerusalem or the Christian leader at that time invited him. Of course, when he arrived, the people of Jerusalem couldn't even recognize which one is Umar, because he didn't have anything fancy or shining on him or an entourage with him. Just a normal Arab guy riding a camel, a true mark of a leader, working quietly until he becomes unnoticed. Leadership that we miss so much. No wonder the 4 caliphs are called the rightly guided. No other caliphs were called rightly guided or Khulafa al-Rashidin in Arabic except them. So they remain the standards we measure ourselves with all the time, no matter what centuries we live in, because history in Islam does not have time limitation. Not far from Hagia Sophia, few steps away, is the Topkapi Palace. Can you see this huge entrance? Yes, Al-Fatih built his palace here, few steps away from where Great Palace of Constantine used to be, of which Al-Fatih can just walk from his palace to Hagia Sophia Mosque easily. A good choice, I must say, to show I'm here, or Islam is here, and meet his people. By the way, do you know what Topkapi means? It means cannon gate. Very smart of Al-Fatih to name his palace Topkapi, because it will always remind people of the cannons, the cannonballs that smash and crash these Byzantium walls here. Inside Topkapi is a long walk from the courtyard to the actual palace. Oh my god. Can you imagine if you forget something, your bag or cash, or you need to go to toilet, very quickly, urgently? Can you imagine how far back you have to walk? Now it looks like palatial, huge, large, Islamic? Not sure. Perhaps we show greet visitors. Allahu Alam, only God knows best. Now, the entrance at the door reads, "This sacred castle was built by Sultan Mahmud Khan, the son of Sultan Murad Khan, the Sultan of the lands and seas, the shadow of Allah and the conqueror of Istanbul in November 1478. The verse meaning help from Allah and a victory soon to come. Surah As-Saf 61 verse 13 is written right above the gate and the proclamation of faith on both sides of it. It is in this Topkapi Palace that governance happened. Was it an Islamic governance? Mulkiyah? That was based on Quran and Prophet's example? I'd like to believe so, but not much evidence was found on this to verify, I'm afraid. There was only a hadith on the leader and army opening Constantinople, but there was no more hadith after that. No hadith on governance of this leader too, or any of the leader of the Ottoman Empire. I wonder why. Dr. Yunus shared with me that Al-Fatih was busy looking at the Europe lands, entering and conquering them. Why Europe? No idea too. Perhaps this could be why Malacca Sultanate, the Kingdom of Malacca, fell to Portuguese due to the focus of the Ottoman Sultan at that time, after Al-Fatih or during Al-Fatih, was on Europe, this side of the land. Can you see here? Now, the Ummah on this side of the land, Anatolia to Nusantara, was forgotten and overlooked. It seems Al-Fatih and Ottoman sultans after him been getting or acquiring new lands. At the same time, they lost old ones too, while the Ummah in Nusantara slowly fell to the Portuguese, Java to the Dutch, Mindanao to Spain, Cambodia to the French. Were the Ottomans growing too fast or weaker due to wealth, wives or sons? Was it neglect or greed? I wish I knew. Allah knows best. Back to Topkapi. Now, besides being a palace for governance, it also functioned as an education center for his government, viziers, sons, etc. Similarly, Hagia Sophia, the church, turned mosque, also functioned as an education center for the public. It is unknown how the economic system was managed here by Al-Fateh, but Al-Fateh built Grand Bazaar, the first Islamic marketplace here. For now, I'd like to believe he was a just ruler. This is the Theodosian walls around Constantinople. At first, I thought the walls were just from here to here, but actually it is a long stretch all the way around Constantinople. This wall, built by Roman Byzantium, had been protecting Constantinople from many attacks prior to Al-Fateh for 1,000 plus years. Well, to be exact, 1,123 years. Perhaps Constantine had underestimated young Al-Fateh's capability and put his total reliance on this wall. With the will of God, this 1,123 years wall was smashed and crashed by Al-Fateh after 825 years of planning and attempting since the rebuild of the Hadith. This signifies the end of the Roman Byzantium Empire. It was on one of these walls that Constantine was last seen. Imagine how he must have felt. I touched the wall. It was hard, strong, rough, heavy, and thick. It must have taken thousands of men and thousands of stones to complete it. Not forgetting a long time as well. This wall had 3 layers. Can you see here? The first layer, the second layer, and the third layer. In between the first and the second and third layer, there was this distance. There could be, from what I read, a pond, some kind of trap. Wow, not easy to build and not easy to crash. If you get by the first wall, there's another 2 more walls that is going to trap you, or you might not get through. No wonder with walls like that, Al-Fateh had to come up with an unusual strategy. A strategy that was never done before. First, Al-Fateh built a tower or fortress, one on the Asian side and one on the European side, to watch over all naval traffics who pass by along the Bosphorus Sea. Second, his army, about 150,000 of them, built ships that carry cannons on the locks, and the locks was laced with oil, so it was easy to roll up on a high land and roll down on a steep slope. Oh, it can be very slippery, so need to be very careful. Here, it happened here, behind this Galata tower, that the ships were pulled from night until morning. I've tried walking this tower up. Oh my God. Even walking, hands-free, no things to carry or pull, I felt tired and had to stop halfway up to catch my breath. Can you imagine what the army of Fateh had to go through the whole night? After 54 days of siege, up and down this hill, pulling ships of cannon, they won. No wonder the Hadith mentioned the best army. It's actually the best example on resilience. Now, how did the army become the best? I've always wondered, so I did a little digging. The same education Fateh or Muhammad too went through, the armies also went through. The Janissaries army set up by Fateh, some came from the children of the non-Muslims that they took care, brought up with Islam education and military training. These Janissaries were given title Ghazi, like Ertugrul Ghazi, Osman Ghazi, reflecting a noble cause that is linked to jihad fi sabilillah. Next, Al-Fatih also made agreements with the Greek people on the lands around Constantinople so that they mind their own business and not conspire with the Byzantium Romans. Smart. Same strategy Prophet Muhammad SAW used when he was in Mecca, when he made a deal with the other tribes in Mecca and outside Mecca. This showed Al-Fatih had studied the strategy used by previous leaders, including Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, the liberator of Jerusalem, and knew exactly what to avoid. Military strategy is only one aspect of winning. Now, anybody can have a good military strategy. Ataturk had a good military strategy too, but leading to where? You know the answer. The difference between Ataturk or anybody who had a good strategy like Al-Fatih, Salahuddin al-Ayyubi is the education system. Now let's look at the education system back then when Islam ruled this land. If you can see from the left side, the revealed knowledge is focused first. With understanding comes memorizing. It's done at the mosque or madrasa. Secondly, it's followed by Rasul, Sunnah. This includes Sirah, Hadith, and everything else. The third is the human acquired knowledge. For example, math, science, language, carpentry, sewing, cooking, farming, sword making. And this could be learned, in madrasa or marketplace. There is no such thing as grading system or certificate. The knowledge is meant to be applied and can be seen in daily lives. For example, governance, military, settling disputes, buying and selling, teaching and learning, and environment. This education pattern or system follows the Surah 4 verse 59 and modeled by the Prophet during his time. Now, on the right hand side, you can see the education system in secular or Muslim countries. What is focused or given priority at the top level is the human acquired knowledge, and this is done in school. Math, science, and language is learned together with Islam and other moral classes. After school hours, children or students learn Quran reading or memorizing, Hadith, or other activities maybe like music or sports. Grading system or certificate is followed or done into this education system, and this originates from the Western culture. Knowledge acquired is not focused on application but more on paper and exams. Can you see the difference? Education system is part of a political system. This means education system is determined by how the country is governed. If a country, even if it's labeled a Muslim country, however, if it separates Islam from the political system, then it becomes like the diagram you see on the right. So what kind of parent was Al-Fatih's father? Just like Ertugrul Ghazi, the father of Osman Ghazi, who brought up Osman, brought up him for the cause of Islam, to uphold and defend Allah's interests, Islam's interests, not his interests, and definitely not the people's interest. Murad too was the father of Al-Fatih. Murad too also did the same. That is why Ertugrul found the right teacher, Sheikh Adabali, to teach his son Osman, as I shared in part 1, Bursa. Same with Murad too. He puts attention, serious attention, to the development of Fatih. And this showed his mission and vision is for the cause of Islam, as I will explain now. From the way Ertugrul Ghazi brought up Osman Ghazi, and from the way Osman Ghazi brought up Orhan Ghazi, and from the way Murad too brought up Fatih, we can see there is a huge difference from those way to today's parents' ways in bringing up children. Today's parents' ways in bringing up children is for economic reason and human recognition. Okay, when Al-Fatih or Sultan Mehmed II was a small boy, he was just as playful as today's boys, and boys being boys, children being children, and didn't want to learn. This is a normal fitrah. So what did Murad II do? Let him be, give him what he wants, like most parents today? No. Murad II gave permission to Al-Fatih's teachers to discipline or cane his son. Murad II also did not interfere in the teaching methods of the teachers. From my research, his teachers are the no-nonsense type. Tough. Murad II got Sheikh Ahmad Al-Qurani to teach Mehmed II Quran, the Arabic language, the Sunnah, the Sirah, the Hadith, and this is all done at the first level. After the Quran and the Sunnah learning is done, Murad II got the second teacher, Sheikh Aq Shamsuddin, who taught Mehmed II or Al-Fatih human knowledge, which is math, science, language, culture, politics, business, governance, military strategy, and so on and so forth. Now, both learning are not done at the same time, as you can see from the diagram. At the age of 19, Murad II gave Fatih practical training, like an internship, 2-year on-the-job training, OJT, as a sultan. Murad II stepped down, made Fatih the sultan, and left him to lead the Battle of Varna. Fatih is now on his own. Do or die, swim or sink. Of course, Fatih had to go all out and do whatever he can to win and to save his country. Finally, at the end, his father came back and both of them won the battle with God's will. What kind of leader or sultan was Murad II? A pious leader, according to some researchers, a just ruler, according to a researcher, Marinos Sarianis, in A History of Ottoman Political Thought up to early 19th century, recommended reading by Dr. Yunus from Ottoman Studies Center, Marmara University. Murad II was advised by his vizier to collect zakat in order to feed the army and fill the treasury. The just sultan replied, "In his realm, there are only 3 halal ways to collect money, namely silver mines, the poll tax from the non-Muslims, and booty from war or qital. If the army is fed from sinful or haram sources, then it becomes sinful itself." This was the reply of Murad II to his vizier. This incident shows one can have a corrupt advisor, but if the sultan understands the Quran, sticks to the Prophet's example, can differentiate truth and false, haq and batil, he will not depart from the justice the Quran commanded. A sultan like this will not listen to his vizier, instead corrects him. Same goes to the vizier. If he is a just advisor, he'll give the right advice to the sultan. During the 4 caliphs' reign, people understood the Quran. That's why they can ask, disagree, give comments, or even correct the caliphs. Today, many Muslims do not understand the content of Quran. Why don't they understand? Because many Muslims do not make effort to understand the book. Why? Well, many Muslims are busy with work commitments, distracted by desires and nafs, or focus only on spiritual recitation, not comprehension. This is why the Ummah today are easily manipulated, deceived, strayed from the Quran path, weak, and the countries are ruled by corrupt leaders and live in oppression. When the sultan or leader is just, i.e., puts something at its proper place, determined by the Quran, the governance is just. The education is whole. The teachers are not secular in the way they think and act. The students too. The society is made up of people who are just. Parents are willing to let go of their children to fight for jihad fi sabilillah, for the cause of Islam. Therefore, the military is strong. No wonder the hadith is true and winning was possible. This is why Mehmed II is called Al-Fatih, from the Surah Al-Fat. This is the sea that holds the steel chain under, blocking Al-Fatih ships from entering Constantinople. By cruising through this sea, you will not miss the famous Dolmabahce Palace. Its extravagance, heavily decorated with French interiors, exteriors, built and lived by the Ottoman sultans that was already weak, secular in the way they think and live, which directly reflect on the building of that time. This period is known as Tanzimat era, mentioned in history books. Not just this palace, the education system during this time was also reformed and mixed with British education system. The banking system that followed the West, charging interest, also started around this time. The first Ottoman bank came in 1856, built by Sultan Abdulmajid I. This bank speeds up the process of dying for this already weak empire. Now this palace is converted to a museum. This is also where Ataturk lived during summer for 10 years. I shared this in part 2, Ankara. The palace where the last Sultan Abdul Hamid lived, i.e. the last administrative center of Ottoman Empire before this empire died, and where he was overthrown, is this palace called Beylerbeyi. It can be seen here from the Bosphorus Sea. Finally, a tip for you. If you plan to come to Istanbul, the best place to stay in Istanbul is Sultan Ahmet. Why? It's a center for everything: shopping, visiting museums, palaces, churches, going anywhere by tram, bus, metro, taxi, sightseeing, taking the cruise on Bosphorus Sea. So keep this place in mind. And if you miss spicy food, and you are traveling with your family, do bring along fast food like cooked noodles in cup, cooked meals in packets, or some rice, if your place has cooking pots and pans. As for us, we cooked spicy anchovies and brought lots of ready-made packed food. This helped us to last long while traveling and save costs too. For those who like shopping, you must come here to buy your souvenirs. Don't go home without it. Turkish teas, Turkish cookies, Turkish crafts, all sorts of Turkish stuff. Whatever you do, bargain. Spices Bazaar is cheaper than Taksim Square and Grand Bazaar, but you have to find the small shops outside the Spice Bazaar. They are cheaper and you can bargain more. All in all, the most beautiful unique scarves or design is still in Kozahan, Bursa. One can't beat this place. This is Dr. Yunus at Marmara University. I asked him, why did the Ottoman sultans who lived during Dolmabahce time turn to the French and British for direction as their Qibla? Why didn't they turn to Islam? He said, well, they have departed from Islam. My guesses were confirmed. With just one small answer, I have nothing else to say. It's time to go back. Ooh, what a ride back to airport. I will never forget. A young man by the name of Fatih, 30 years old, has a son, a toddler, and a wife not working. His sharing, mashallah, was eye-opening. Alhamdulillah. A thinker, rare for a taxi driver, and not many his age has a stand that he had. Mostly youth his age either don't care or don't want to know. Just work for survival. Mind your business kind of attitude. He drove all the way to airport, shifting gears, talking, calculating, translating, changing signals, all at the same time.
For example, you gave $500 to the bank and you can get it back as $500.
Haha, inshallah. He shared with us why Ataturk is idolized here, because education in primary school focused on him, not Fatih. Al-Fatih. Okay, we got it. Then he shared his pain living as a Muslim on a secular land. We felt the same, although the land where we stayed has a Islamic label attached to it. We felt the same because the high cost of living is robbing away people's purchasing power and time. The pain of working long hours but never enough. The pain of voting for the right leader but turn out wrong. Erdogan or Jokowi or Mahathir or Anwar or Biden. No matter who at the top, they are all the same. The inflation, the oppression is killing everyone, yet no action is taken. Fateh shared on Erdogan's policy. Erdogan came up with a policy for early retirement. Now, many people voted for him due to this policy, but the early retirement caused a lot of burden to the government and of course to the people, because everything goes back to the people. It's the people who pay the taxes at the end of the day. Erdogan reduced the interest rate. The inflation went up to the roof because he said riba is haram. Our country's government increased the interest rate, opposite. And still the inflation shot up. Did it solve the problem? No. It's the same like Turkey's situation. Instead, it created different problems and people suffer as a result. Is this Islam or Islamic? You decide. Our country is also experiencing inflation, but it has not reached this high. Maybe coming soon? I fear what's coming and the poverty that will hit and squeeze people tightly. There is a hadith. In short, we came to the same conclusion: no justice in this world for us Muslims. I thought we did some research. Why? Why is there no justice? If we look back in the Quran, it says about winning. Winning is repeated 3 times in the Quran. Not just in Surah Al-Fat, verse 1, but in another 2 surah and verses as well. In fact, winning is already promised by God for the Muslims. It's already a done deal. But why until today Muslims are defeated, in great loss, weak, persecuted, oppressed, injustice, or unjustly treated? Despite advanced technology, we are losing in all aspects. We cannot even defend and protect ourselves. For example, the young taxi driver Fateh. The poverty he and the people of Turkey felt is also felt by all Muslims in other countries. After the fall of Uthmaniyah, the West is in control, and we, the Muslim country, follow them. This is why until today, the state of Ummah is getting worse. We have done a lot of things to help, such as sending donations to Palestine, Syria, Rohingya, Kashmir, Uyghur, wakaf our lands, open up many universities, build schools, build facilities for communities, provide subsidies to the needy for Hajj and Umrah, food, etc. But the problem, is it solved? No, in fact, it's getting worse. The only solution is for us to go back to Islam system. But today, no Muslims or country is fighting for Islam the way the Prophet showed. Instead, we use the Jahiliyyah system and do our best to make it Islamic. For example, Islamic Bank, Islamic University, Islamic schools, Islamic this and that, Sharia courts, Sharia compliance product and service, Halal Hub, like Jahiliyyah system inside, the outside coated with Islam. Not original? Yes. No wonder Muslims Ummah problem never go away unless we go back to what Prophet Muhammad SAW showed us and what Al-Fatih did. We left Istanbul, the land of Islam, once upon a time and carried the spirit of Al-Fatih forever in our hearts. Goodbye.